Hi there, I'm Katie and welcome to another episode of In the Studio. Today we're going to be joined by the lovely Becky James, who's going to be showing us this really fun Christmas jumper card that's focusing on some die cutting and embossing techniques. Hi Becky, welcome along today.
Katie.
So you've got a wonderful Christmas jumper card for us today.
Yes.
And it's, I'm loath to say it's a naff Christmas jumper, but it's not a naff card, it's a naff Christmas jumper.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to start off actually cutting the shape of the card, because we're going to make a shape card with this. And then I'm going to show you how we can use the suit die that we had along with the Heritage Press range actually to make our jumper.
Wonderful.
So
lovely.
Let's get going with that then. So the first thing that I'm going to use actually out of the whole of the set, we're going to use a selection of the dies. We're not going to use all of them. But I'm going to first start off. This is actually the die that you cut the inside shirt bit for when you're actually making the jacket and the shirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tape it down, and I'm going to put it so that the edge of one of the cutting edges of the die is slightly over the spine of a card blank.
Okay, so you keep the actual hinged part of the card intact.
Yeah. What I'm going to do though to make sure that stays in place is I'm going to use some pattern Kraft tape. Now, as it's on your side, Katie, I think you're going to be doing the honours today. So
there we go.
There we go.
Make sure that's on a flat surface. So we're going to pop in there.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. But do remember, you are cutting through two levels of cards, so
I'll let you do the honours.
Yeah, that should all easily come out now. So what we're going to do now is we've got our shaped card, and that's going to be our base. So I've already cut some of the bits. We're going to do another little bit of cutting again in a minute, so get your arms ready. But I'm going to explain to you what else I've cut before we go any further. And the range that I've used here, the patterned range I've actually used this time around is the Kraft Christmas range, which I really like this. I do as well. It is so pretty. This is like almost a Hessian style paper, but I've already cut another one of the shirt backgrounds in that. I'm just going to stick this onto the front of the card.
Okay.
So we're just covering that up. Now, to do my collar, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold those over a little bit, but I'm not going to stick that down until I've got my my jumper in place, because then I can get it positioned correctly. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to just pop some glue dots on there. I'm just going to tuck it behind here, ready to go.
Okay.
So we're just going to pop that, and you need to place it about roughly centrally, and it's like you'll have your collar still waiting to be shut.
So the little sort of the curvy bit sort of just tucks
in underneath. Yeah, that's it. So you're just going to do that.
Good.
We'll add glue dots. Add a bit that goes down the centre there with the buttons. And then the bow tie I'm going to leave for later, because of course we're going to add that over the top of the jumper as well. So the next thing that we need to do, so get your arms ready, Katie, so that you can do some more die cutting and embossing. First of all, we're going to die cut, and we're going to die cut the V-neck in the jumper.
Okay.
And I'm die cutting first because actually, and I've done this and I have checked that if you don't die cut first, you end up with, by sort of squashing your embossing back down. You will. I've done it. So
I see what you mean. So if you embossed it first and then die cut it, you're going to squash it. Okay.
Yeah, squash it back down again. So make sure you always die cut first, emboss afterwards.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is I've chosen to use the nesting diamonds because they actually have quite a nice V on them.
Yeah.
It's quite narrow, which is great for a jumper. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll just take that back. And then we're going to emboss the front of the card. I'm going to pop it so that it is in pretty much in the centre with the detail. There we go.
Okay.
And then if you don't mind running that through on an embossing folder setting for us, that would be great.
What setting would you like it on?
About 6.5, please.
Okay. I feel such pressure doing it in front of you.
I know, but wow, look at the
There we
detail
go.
on that. That's
amazing.
Real detail, isn't it? How incredible is the detail in that? What I'm going to do with this, let's just fold that over a little bit, is I'm going to quickly just go around the edges with a bit of chocolate ink. I'm not going to be too careful with this, but I just want to pick up that detail with the ink, really.
Yeah.
And it is really, really beautiful. Right, so I'm going to pop that to one side just for a minute. And the next thing we're going to do, and I think this is the last bit of die cutting you've got to do for me, Katie.
Got me working, haven't you, today?
Audience participation today. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make the V-neck to go on the jumper. So I've chosen one. I love this pattern actually because it's the stripes with all the cross stitch detail and the snowflake, the Nordic details and the hearts and things. And I've used this to make my band on the bottom of my jumper and my neck and the band to go around the neck. Now I've actually cut this. You don't need to cut a full piece because you're only going to use part of it. But I've actually cut this with the larger of the two folders already. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the narrower of the two in place, and then we're going to cut it, and that's going to give us our neckband.
Little collary bit.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, we know that's worked. There we go.
There we go, that's it. Now, all I'm doing is I'm just putting some foam tape on this so that I can make this 3D, but part of it, I'm going to put it over the edge and line it up, and then part of it I'll just snip off.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
That's it, so we'll just do that. Oh, and I'm just going to add the base band, the sort of the band around the bottom. And again, this is just a strip. The one thing, when you're working with stripes, is to remember which way around you want your stripes to be as well. And I want my stripes to go horizontal with this, so remember to cut your paper accordingly when you're doing that kind of thing. Oh, and the other thing I will say as well about this paper is it has hearts on, so make sure as well you get your hearts the right way around. Oh, it's very important.
That's true.
Because you can end up with your hearts upside down. So we're going to stick the jumper front on. It's basically going to go directly over our card front.
Oh, that's great.
There we go. So let me get some buttons, my bow tie. Right, so I'm going to start off by sticking down my collar. You see, by doing it afterwards, the collar will sit properly over the jumper.
Because you wouldn't want it tucked underneath the collar and so on, would you?
No. Okay, give that a little bit of shape. I'm just going to set, that one's
I love that.
I do as well. Do you know what? I absolutely adore this little bow tie die because it can be used on its own. So you know, it's just such a versatile little thing.
And actually, it's a nice bow die for all sorts of things. It would make a sort of a girly bow as well, or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe bows in hairs for a little girl or something like that in a paper piece design or something. So I've got my buttons there. So we've got nice red buttons. So it's clashing and completely naff, and and a bow tie here. Well, actually, when I was thinking about this, I was trying to think what can we put on the front of the card that would really make it Christmassy, but really look. So I went with the poinsettias and the snowflakes. And I've actually dyed. Not that I think that these are actually. I absolutely love these.
I think this is there's lots of lovely flower dyes in the X-Cut range, but I think this is my favourite. I think. I mean, I love them all, but this is so. It's just a poinsettia, isn't it? It's perfect.
It is really. So we're going to pop that on the front. That's going to be our embellishment. We're going to layer these up. So let's just shape our poinsettias. Just because I'm just really, if we're going to do this properly, we're going to just layer on whatever imagery we can get on here. We're going to go for it in a big way. Oh, thank you.
Helping you.
Yeah, there we go. Stick. That's it.
The hot glue always takes a little bit longer to dry under hot lights, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's it. And then that's the centre of the poinsettia, which I've done in sort of an orangey yellow. So definitely colours which are going to stand out and be bright.
I love it.
And then we're just going to add a couple more a leaf a holly leaf. We're just going to tuck that under, and a button, and then we're just going to quickly make a sentiment. I'm going to show you the new stamps in the Kraft Christmas range, which I just think are beautiful because they've got so much lovely detail on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp, I've actually chosen the one which says "Let It Snow" on it, to go with the snowflake on the card. So all I'm going to do is I'm just inking it up. I'm going with red pigment ink because it's really going to stand out on the sort of the neutral background. I'm going to stamp it on. So just ink that up. I've just got a scrap of card here because I'm going to cut it out from here anyway. So and then just pop that on there. Just need to press down firmly, lift it up, and just the detail on there is.
You can see all the stitching lines,
and actually, what you don't realise is when you look at it, all the letters are made up of tiny little dots, and you can see each individual dot.
You can actually see it better in the print than you can on the stamp, which really says something.
Yeah. So we're just going to trim this out. And I love that red against that. It's almost like an old-fashioned, not old-fashioned gold, but there used to be a word, old gold, a colour that was called old gold. And I think it's almost like an old gold colour, stony sort of old gold colour. Right, so all we're going to do now, just going to tuck that into our design. So a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there. And I can just manoeuvre that around. I'm just tucking it under the snowflake, sticking it onto the card. And there you go.
That's wonderful. So that's amazing. And those are your two different looks,
yes,
aren't
and
they?
you can see they are completely different.
Yeah, beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed Becky's really fun project today. If you've been inspired to create some Christmas cards, why not upload them to docrafts.com, and I'm sure the other members there will leave you some lovely comments. We'd love to hear what you think about In the Studio. Leave us a comment below and we can maybe answer your questions and listen to your ideas for future episodes as well. You can keep up to date with everything that's happening at Do Crafts over at our Facebook page. You can find the details on screen right now. Until next time, happy crafting.